Friends, welcome to my video. Kindly click on the CC button for subtitles. First things first, let's talk about identity and change. Have you ever looked at a childhood photo and thought, wow, that's me, but also not me? That's a metaphysical question right there. How can you be the same person as that kid in the picture if you've changed so much? The philosophical term for this is identity through change. In metaphysics, we try to figure out how things can remain the same through time and change, be it a person, a tree, or even a building. Next, let's get into the classic example, the half-full or half-empty glass of water. This is all about perspective, but also raises questions about the nature of objects and reality. It's a simple, everyday example of a deeper metaphysical discussion on whether our perceptions shape reality, or whether there's a reality independent of our thoughts. This idea, known as objective versus subjective reality, is at the heart of many metaphysical debates. You know when you can't find your keys and you swear they just vanished into thin air. That's a bit like a metaphysical problem called problems of persistence. In metaphysics, we wrestle with the idea of objects persisting in space and time. Can they disappear and reappear? Change form or place? What does it mean for something to exist at all? Ever had one of those dreams that felt super real, and then you wake up and have to pinch yourself? That's sort of like a metaphysical issue called the mind-body problem. How do our physical brains create non-physical experiences, thoughts, and feelings? And how do we know if what we're experiencing is real or just a figment of our imagination? It's like the philosophical version of Inception. Then there's the idea of free will. We all like to think we're in control of our lives, but are we really? If everything in the universe follows certain laws, like gravity or electromagnetism, do our brains and our actions follow laws too? Is everything predestined because of cause and effect, or can we genuinely make free choices? These questions about determinism and free will are another big part of metaphysics. Lastly, let's not forget about the ultimate metaphysical question: why is there something rather than nothing? This question, which has been keeping philosophers up at night for thousands of years, asks why the universe exists at all. And no, answering, because of the Big Bang, doesn't solve it. It just pushes the question back a step, to, why was there a Big Bang? It's like the philosophical version of a kid asking, but why? Over and over again. So there you have it, a metaphysical tour of everyday life. Hopefully, this shows you that metaphysics isn't just stuffy old philosophers arguing about angels on the head of a pin. It's in our daily lives, in our big questions, and our small annoyances. It's in our wondering, our dreaming, and our living. You're a bit of a metaphysician yourself, even if you didn't know it. Consider this: you're sitting on a bench, people watching. Everyone is hustling by, absorbed in their own worlds. This is a prime opportunity to ponder the metaphysical concept of individuality and connectedness. Each person has their own distinct identity, their own thoughts, and perceptions. But at the same time, we're all part of this interconnected network of life and experiences. It's like being separate notes in the same symphony, a metaphysical harmony. Have you ever looked at a painting and felt a deep emotional response? Art can move us, speak to us on a profound level. But it's just paint on canvas, right? The value we ascribe to art, the feelings it evokes, brings up metaphysical questions about the nature of beauty and value. Is beauty inherent in the artwork, or does it exist because we perceive it? Is beauty universal, or is it entirely subjective? Let's talk about love. You meet someone, and suddenly, you can't imagine your life without them. You feel like you're destined to be together. This brings us to the metaphysical concept of fate. Is there such a thing as destiny, or is life a series of random events? Do we have soulmates, or do we create our relationships through our choices and actions? Then there's the issue of knowledge. Think about the information you get from the news, social media, even your own senses. How do you know what's true and what's not? This is epistemology, a branch of metaphysics concerned with the nature of knowledge and belief. It grapples with questions like, what can we truly know? What does it mean to believe something? Can we trust our senses? Have you ever had a déjà vu experience? That weird feeling you've experienced something before when you know you haven't. Some interpret this as a glitch in reality, others as evidence of past lives. Both interpretations take us into the realm of metaphysics, as they question the nature of time, reality, and consciousness. Ever sat under the stars, staring at the vast universe and feeling both insignificant and profoundly connected? That's metaphysics too. It's about understanding our place in the cosmos. Are we insignificant specks in the grand scheme of the universe, or are we inherently meaningful and purposeful? Finally, think about the concept of death, our final frontier. It's perhaps the ultimate metaphysical question: what happens when we die? Do we cease to exist, or does some part of us continue? Is death just another form of transformation? So, as you can see, metaphysics isn't just academic philosophy. It's deeply woven into our daily lives. It's about seeking answers to life's big questions and making sense of our experiences. Even if we don't always realize it, we're all metaphysicians at heart, trying to understand this weird, wonderful, confusing thing called life.